Hi guys, and welcome to this new video. My name is Ricardo Stefan. I'm a graphic designer, digital artist, and photographer. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's get to the video. Today I will show you how to use the perspective warp in Adobe Photoshop. This is a very interesting tool, and you will see how practical this might be, how helpful this might be in many circumstances like in today. Okay, let me explain. What I want to do, I want to place this this stack of book on this table to create some kind of a composite. But as you can see right now, if you look at this stack of book here, you will notice that the perspective is kind of wrong, or if you wish, it's not precise, and you have the impression that the cover is kind of open. The cover of this top book is kind of open, which is in fact something, if you look at this, I want to place this here, but I want to modify it to make this thing look a little bit more realistic. And to do this, we will be using this very interesting tool. Let me show you what we will be doing today. For example, this is the original image, and what I want to do, I want to modify it to make it look like this. As you can see, this is a little bit more realistic, and we will be doing that using the perspective warp. Okay, let's get started. Let me just delete this so that I can have my original image. Okay, a very important thing is that it's important that you turn your image into a smart object. This is very important. You will see why, and I will explain why in a minute. Okay, to access the perspective warp, what we will do, we will of course select the layer we want to work on. Don't forget, convert your layer into a smart object by right-clicking here and convert to smart object. Okay, we've already done that here. Okay, to access the perspective warp, what we will be doing, we'll go to edit and come here to perspective warp. Okay, on your screen basically nothing will happen, but everything will happen right at the top here and with your cursor. What you will need to do, first of all, you will see here is the layout and the warp button. We'll be using those two buttons to switch between two different modes. You will see what I mean in just a second. So how does this tool work? It's kind of a 3D manipulation tool, and what you will need to do will be to create a minimum of at least 2 faces. Let me show you. For example, I will do this. First of all, I will do this, and I will have this grid. And what I can do, I will first modify it so that it roughly takes the shape of the object I want to modify. Okay, this is the first one. This let's create a second one, and by doing this, if I place one of those points on another one, it will snap to it automatically, as you can see. And then I can just click on this dot here and I can modify it and just turn it to something like this. Let's zoom in so that we can see what we're doing here. Okay, I think it's kind of okay right now. It's okay. Okay, now what we'll do, of course, we're on the layout button here. What we'll do, after creating this layout, we will switch to the warp button, and what that will allow us to do, that will allow us to modify the shape of this object, and to be more precise, the perspective of this object. Look how we will be doing that. You will see those kind of circles with black circles with white dot inside of it. You click on it, click on those edges. Look at that. You move that, click, you move it. Okay, and I will just move this here. Just move this here. Okay, and now after I'm done with this, I will just click here, and my thing is done. My perspective is done. One very important thing to note here, you remember I told you that it's important to convert your layer into a smart object. Smart objects support smart filters. In fact, the perspective warp tool will be saved, will be automatically saved as a smart filter inside or attached to your layer here in your layers panel. For example, if you look at this here, you will see smart filter, and here is the perspective warp. The good thing about this, if you remember, I told you that it's important to convert your layer to smart object. The perspective warp will be saved as a filter into your layer, into the layer that you're working on. And if you look at this here, you will see a smart filter, and you will see the perspective warp tool here. This means that the work that you did, the modification that you did, is non-destructive. You can go back and modify that later on. For example, if I want to modify this, the perspective or the warp I just did, I can double click on this. Okay, you will see that I have reactivated the warp options in this object, and I can modify it again, modify it further, so that I can have so that I can make it look the way that I want. And once I'm done, I just click here. And by the way, if you're wondering what those buttons here do, check this out. Let me just move this up a little bit so that you can see what's going on here. Okay, this will control the vertical lines in this shape, while this button will control the horizontal line in your image. This one here will control both at the same time. Let me show you. Let's start with the vertical one. If I click on this, look at that. What Photoshop will do, it will try to straighten parts that it thinks should be straight. For example, this here, let me undo this. Okay, look at this line here, it's not straight. This one is not straight, and this one is not straight also. When I click on this, look at that, it's straightened this one, it's straightened this one, and also this one. Let me undo that so that I can show you what the horizontal one does. Sorry. Okay, the horizontal one will try to make every shape that it thinks should be horizontal, straight, horizontal. Okay, let me show you. If I click on this, look what happens. It will take everything that it thinks should be horizontal and make those lines really level, really straight. Let me undo this. And when it comes to this one, look at that. If I click on this, it will try to straighten both the vertical and the horizontal lines in the image or the object. While when it comes to those buttons, this is simply to undo the warp, this is simply to cancel the warp, and this one is simply to accept or to confirm the warp that you did. Of course, if I've corrected this image and I've done the warp here, I just click on this, or I can press enter or return on my keyboard, and it will work. Let me click on that, and here we go. And as you can see, this is the work we did. And for example, if it's a composite, what I did, what I wanted to do was to modify this and to create some kind of composite. Then I just add this, which is the shadow. And let's just give me a second. I will just move this here and to about here, and I can modify my shadows so that it looks, let's press OK. I just added the shadow to make it look a little bit more realistic, and then I can just move this a little bit like this, something like this, modify it, and okay, just move it down about here, press enter, and I now have this thing here. I can move it a little bit, just holding shift. I can move this here to about here, press enter, return to my keyboard, and also move this slightly up to about here. And now look at that. I've created a great, beautiful, realistic composite just using the perspective warp. And if we go, this was before, this is after, before, after. The perspective warp tool is a great tool that can allow you to do things that you would not be able to do otherwise. Especially, you know that in Photoshop we mostly work in 2D, and this allows you to get some kind of 3D manipulation in the software. And by the way, if you want to get started with Photoshop, I've got a course called Adobe Photoshop CC, how to edit your first photo. In this course, I will show you how to take this image and transform it into this image. We will learn things like layers, we will learn things like layer mask, we will learn about color grading, we will see how to straighten our photos, and at the end of this course we will have a bonus project where we will take the image we've been editing and we will use it to create this beautiful flyer, all that in Photoshop. The course is available on Skillshare. You can have it right now for 2 months. You can watch it for 2 months free without paying anything. Just follow the link in the description. The course is also available on Udemy. You can grab the link in the description and access it. Also, if you want to have my premium images, you can get it on Shutterstock. It's available there. We have a great selection of my photos, my landscape photos especially. You can go there and you can access it. You can download it. You can buy it. Okay, I hope you learned something today. It was all for today's video. If you're new to this channel, don't forget you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment down below about this video or about any video or anything relating to Photoshop of this channel. Until next time guys, it's bye-bye from me.